Alright, so here we are, boys. This is the EVGA For the Win 3 Ultra unboxing. And what I am going to be doing is showing you the box. And then I have the card. And I don't remember if I've recorded an unboxing for this, man. I really don't remember. I might have. Look, I'm very, very behind in these videos. But I wanted to do everything consistently and have all of these together. For this test, I wanted to run all the cards on my XTIA, show how they all mount on my XTIA, and basically just run it stock on this. Unfortunately, I'm running a torture test for all of them because if the rat fans are intaking, but I mean, it is what it is. So I opened up at the bottom. Now we're gonna reach into the box. Here we are, pulling out the box in the box. I didn't show the front of the box, but the front of the box, just says 3090 For the Win 3 Ultra. The side, and the back says some EVG words. It says whatever. It's like their web page, but it's on a box. Alright, so we throw that box over there. Now 2 seconds. We're gonna reach into the box. Alright, so inside the box, that is inside a box, you have padding, and ta-da! The EVGA 3090 For the Win 3 with the red duck lips limited edition model. Yep, and yours truly. We got some ESD, electric static defense, anti-static shock, whatever, bag, to protect it. Hardware installation manual. This card costs $17.99, and the only goodie you get is a GPU support brace bracket that only fits and works on an EVGA case that nobody owns. But you also get this other limited edition item. It's an EVGA badge. Yes, very special. Very special. It's not like, a Strix where you get this super dope Yu-Gi-Oh card, you flex your attributes and stuff, but hey, it is what it is, A good thing I can use this ROG ruler to measure your disappointment, but yeah, that's the end of the limited edition goodies that come with the For the Win 3 Ultra. And failed voltage control. Failed voltage control. So for boxing this up, ta-da, ta-da. I'm gonna put this box over with the other box, and now we have the card. Here is the GPU, and it is, like I said, the smallest 3-slot custom PCB 3090 that you can get that allows you to at least raise the power limit. I don't want to hear the Founders Edition. Yes, I understand that's a custom PCB as well, but you can't raise the power limit without a shunt mod. Now this one, it's got a 500 watt power limit. The video I/O 1 HDMI 2.1 raster display port 1.4K, and then here's the heatsink. The heatsink, it feels good. It's beefy. You got a huge copper cold plate. You got the labeling right there. For the Win 3 Ultra 3090, all that. I don't think it says Ultra on this. It just says on the box. So you're paid for a bin box essentially. Here's the other end. You can see the heat pipes and all that. You can see how you can attach an auxiliary fan and then a RGB apparently. You can see the little 3 fans, the headers, and yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Then you have the little EVGA raindrops. Can you see that? Raindrops on the fan. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is I'm going to be mounting this onto my XTIA case. So I will require some time. Give me 2 seconds.
Alright, so that's the case. I did mount the GPU all the way at the edge. I don't have the riser attached, but that's perfectly fine with the riser dangling off. It's supported by this PCIe slot thing here and this here. And then For the Win 3, come on brain. The power connectors are really high up, man. So it's it was kind of difficult to place it on this. Real quick, just so you can see what the I/O looks like. See that gap? I mean, that pretty much helps airflow. But now you see the lip is hanging off a little bit. Yeah, you can see the power connectors right there. It's putting pressure, but I mean, it is what it is. But it looks pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. Besides that red lip thing, come on, dude, it's a nice looking GPU. So yeah, the cooler on it's pretty good. Maybe EVGA can fix that 500 watt BIOS and voltage control. Honestly, if they can't fix it, they should just let people RMA the card and then get one that doesn't have that voltage issue. But otherwise, I like the card, man. I like the company, I'm gonna be honest, but that's why I bought a Kingpin, to make sure they didn't mess up voltage control on that too. Because if voltage control is messed up on that too, I'd probably write the company off and keep the Strix. But I have no issues with it, so I'm really happy. To be honest, that other Strix was binned terribly, dude. Absolutely terrible. So Yeah, here we are. I'm going to be popping the power cable in. And yeah, so obviously just a 360 rad for the CPU. And then the GPU is on air. You know, you all have brains, you know that much. And yeah, this is where the case is going to be positioned. I'll move over the mic to where it's supposed to. Okay, we're back. I am just measuring the distance from the GPU to the mic. You can see 28 inches, so everything's basically the same. I'm gonna boot the PC now. As you can see, post no issues. Yeah, one second. Let me turn these noise canceling headphones off because I can't hear how loud the fans are. Alright, one second. It's probably gonna launch the Discord. Alright, so I don't know if you can see it on the other monitor. Probably barely. I hope somewhat of it is visible. I also want the GPU on the case visible, but basically I'm gonna run TimeSpy. It's all stock on the 500 watt BIOS, so yeah, and it's in OC mode. It's not running stock. Just imagine the same results, just quieter. I mean that's really it, and then obviously the scores are lower. So yeah, it's in the same torture test that the other one was in. I don't. Yeah. Anyway, we'll run this. So in the OC BIOS, the fans are starting off running at 1,000 RPMs all the time, and the GPU temperature is 28 degrees Celsius right now, and that's it. We're gonna just run TimeSpy. CPU, same settings I told you. All I did is do game boost for the CPU, 10900K. Game boost for the RAM, it's just an XMP profile. MSI loaded profile. Out of the box, 5 gigahertz if you don't know what you're doing, 1.35 volts. And the cache is stock, 4.3. 43x or 4.3 gigahertz for the cache. And we're gonna run TimeSpy. And I'll let it run fans auto so you can hear it. I'll stop talking. Right, so if you heard any like metal scratching or anything, that was me eating dinner in the background, so I do apologize. That's very unbearably loud, but it won't be in like the other tests that I'll record. But TimeSpy score 18,766, graphics score 19,833, CPU score 14,384. That's pretty constant. This is the same day I'm recording the Kingpin results. This is just right before I just took it off. It is December 30th, 10:13 p.m. We're gonna scroll. Excuse me. Out of everything so far, I talked a lot of shit about this card, but it did very well. Like much better than the Trio and the Strix. I do want to clarify that between the Trio and the Strix and the Kingpin, that if you look at the PCIe slot, I left that gap of one slot. And that seems to be a huge difference in terms of airflow. And I didn't think that it would make that big of a difference. So yeah, the the next card I'll be testing is the 3090 FE, and then obviously takes up 3 PCIe slots. But the Strix is, it's a 2.9 slot, whatever, cooler, but it only takes up 2 PCIe slots. Same thing with the Trio. But the Trio cooler is cheap. The cooler on this is good. I just wish that the 500 watt BIOS and the voltage control worked on this. That's basically my only complaints. Otherwise, the heatsink on this is good. The temperatures are good, dude. The boost clock wasn't holding like 2000 like the Kingpin, but my CPU held 5 gigahertz the whole way. GPU clock was like 1935, 1965, dropped 1965, dropped 1965, 1875, 1860, 1875, 1860, 1830, 1860, 1845. It drops to like 1845, then 1860, 1830. So it's around that whatever you paid for mark, or I think it's like 1800 is the boost clock or whatever they say it comes with the Ultra. And if I look at this GPU temperature, it started the test at 31 degrees Celsius, ramps up 43, 50, 51, 52, 53, like 59, and then graphics test 1, 55, ramps up to 66, 67 degrees, drops down 67, 69, 70, 71 C is the hottest it got, and my CPU temperature was like 48C. Highest it got when the CPU test at the end was 75, dropped, and then ramped up to 79. So that's pretty good. But yeah, it did really well. I'm just impressed by the heatsink, or the cooler on this is good. So if you're wondering like why the test results are so drastic, the only thing that changes, I showed you that gap, but is that gap really that drastic? I doubt it's really that big. But as of right now, it's making it look like this has the best cooler. To be honest, like, even when these fans are running, it's still much quieter than the other ones. Anyway, I did not save the results, so I do have to save that. Save results, RTX series, new folder, caps lock, EVGA for the Win 3 Ultra 3090. Go into this folder, make a folder called stock, and then in that folder we name this times by save. Alright, cool. So now we're gonna do times by extreme and then port royale. I will pause this and then show the what is the word called, the results, and the port royale when I'll record the whole thing and not make any noise like at all, because it's short and it's very easy. Be right back. Alright, so here we go. Times by extreme score is 9,312, graphics score is 10,003, CPU score is 6,695. We're gonna scroll down. GPU is like, slowly ramping from 41 degrees Celsius, 67, then peaks like 69, 71. So yeah, CPU 40, 54, and then the last test where it's the CPU test, 53 peaks, drops, goes up to like 80 degrees Celsius, and it like holds 80 degrees Celsius as the peak, and then that's pretty much it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We're gonna also save this times by extreme stream, and now we're gonna move over to port royale. This one I will record with the audio, and yeah, so we'll see how this goes. Firestrike is also a very short test. Right now the GPU is idling, and it's also 31 degrees Celsius, so it's pretty quiet. I mean, cool and quiet, yeah. Port Royale score is 12,941, and that's pretty much it. So let's look at the GPU temperatures. Starts off like 48 degrees. CPU starts off like 39.97, so we're around at 49 GPU, 40 for CPU. GPU slowly ramps up to the highest peak of 72 C, and CPU's highest peak was 53, 55, so yeah, basically nothing. But yeah, I have to save this as well. Port Royal, boom. Now, some of you may get higher scores than me. That is perfectly fine. I have explained countless times that this is a dirty Windows install from Windows LTSB to LTSC to Windows 10 Enterprise. I'm also been running a 9900K. I've had a few failed overclocks on this, so I don't know if the Windows has been corrupted or anything from the failed memory overclocks. Holding on the power switch in proper shutdowns, then to a 3950X, and then to a 5950X down to a 10900K, all on the same Windows install. Now we're going to do Firestrike, and then Firestrike Ultra, Firestrike Extreme, and then I'll run Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and then we'll see what that gets. But as of right now, the Kingpin would basically go to 2000. It do 2 gigahertz on stock, like auto, without me tweaking anything. This one on auto is doing like 1860. So yeah, I will have to overclock it, and I will later. I guess I just end up getting tired whenever I have to try to overclock it. The Kingpin, I care, I want to keep it. This one, we'll see. I know I was talking like a lot of smack about it, but it's been doing a good job, man. Also, those, once again, concerned about me having G-Sync on with the monitor. I mean, if you had a 240 Hz monitor, you should be concerned, because I saw 267 FPS in this test, but it's not hitting 360, man. So you can just leave G-Sync, V-Sync, all that on, and then set the frame counter to -3, so it's 357. Maybe if I was running Unreal Heaven Engine benchmark, whatever, my bad, Unique Heavens Engine benchmark, yeah, it would probably hit that high, especially if I was running at 1080p. But I usually run, I think, like 1440p, 8x, I think, yeah, 8x, and then everything maxed out. I remember running these tests on my Strix 1080 on my 6700K. I loved my 6700. My bad. I did love that CPU, and then I loved that 1080. Dude, I got a 1440p G-Sync monitor, 144 Hz, and I used to play Rainbow Six Siege with a mouse and keyboard, and like I loved it, man. It was a whole new world. It was just crazy. I suck so much with a keyboard and mouse in the beginning. Whenever like people start shooting, or like it's like a pressure situation, I kind of like spaz out and I forget what keys to press. I remember I ended up getting an RGB keyboard, like literally just so I could not just bind, like the key binds I left default because changing everything was too difficult. I just changed the colors, so I knew like, oh, red reload, like WASD made them like white or something. Then I would just make different colors for all the buttons, so I knew like, oh, crouch and control for prone was easy, but like grenade or like use, like I'd make it like yellow. Yeah, I would play with a controller because I was too scared that I couldn't play on the same level with a mouse and keyboard, but eventually I started getting better. Now I can't even play with the controller, it's too hard. I don't remember how. I know people play really good with controller on Call of Duty. The auto aim is like, oh my bad, the aim assist, not auto aim. So yeah, Firestrike score 32,284. Graphics score is 45,339. Physics score 29,425. Combined score 10,712. We're gonna scroll down. GPU temperature, CPU temperature started at 36C. GPU is like 45. Hit the highest in the first graphics test, 64C. CPU is 52C. And then the highest the GPU hit was 67 degrees Celsius in the graphics test too. My CPU hottest it reached is 54. In the physics test, my CPU temperature is like 69, 70 highest peaks. GPU is like 42, 44, it ramped down. And then in the combined test, the GPU is like 47C, peaked at 56. CPU is 46C, peaked at 67. But yeah, the CPU held 5 gigahertz throughout the whole test, and the GPU was like 1920, 1935, 1920, 1935, 1920, 1935, and then the combined test 1935, 1830, 1935. Yeah, so like 1935. I have to save this. Don't forget. Fire, strike, boom. And we're gonna go to Firestrike Extreme and then Ultra. I'll run like 1 or 2 overclock tests. I really don't feel like doing more. I ran the stock ones, it's fine. Most people don't. overclock these cards. They just buy them because they're in stock or the cooler. And then the people who do buy to overclock, yes, I know who you are, but you probably don't care how this performs overclocked on this. You're probably gonna like overclock it anyway. I mean, you know who you are. You won't care. But I will run like a test. I just don't want to run all of the tests. I'll pause this and show the numbers. As you can see, the Firestrike Extreme score, graphics score, oh my bad, I didn't even read the score. Firestrike Extreme score 20,880, graphics score 23,498, physics score 28,954, combined score 9,265. And we're gonna go to the beginning. GPU temperature is like 42°C, ramped up to like 66 degrees Celsius for graphics test 1. CPU is 45, peaked at 52. GPU for graphics test 2 was at 54, peaked at 69. CPU was like 41, peaked at like 49.82. And for the physics test, CPU was 67 degrees, highest. GPU was 47, went all the way down to 43. And during the combined test, they're both around like 53, 55. And they both ramped up to like 65, 67. It's about the same thing. CPU held 5 gigahertz throughout the whole test. And GPU was like 1890, 1875, 1860, 1845, 1900. 1920, 1890, 1920. Combined test 1965, 1935, 1890, and held 1890. I have to save this. Fire Strike Extreme. Boom. And now just the last one, and I'm free. Fire Strike Ultra. I'll pause this and then I'll show you the number. BRB. Alright, we're back. And this is the Fire Strike Ultra score. And it's 12,363. Graphics score 12,288. Physics score 29,035. Combined score 6,811. Same thing. First test, graphics test, CPU and GPU both 52C. Highest peak for CPU was 56. And the highest peak for the GPU was 91. These might be inaccurate readings. Who knows? Anyway, after that, the highest normal peak looked like it was 67, and the CPU is 40. Second test, they both began around GPU began around 52C. CPU I can't even see. GPU is 52C. Highest GPU got during graphics test 2 was 69 degrees Celsius. CPU, I can't see it. I'm going to say probably 50 degrees Celsius. I really can't see that number. So during the physics test, the highest the CPU got was 81 degrees Celsius, and then dropped down to like, 43. No, not 43. Dude, the numbers hover over each other. I can't see the number. But GPU was like 41 degrees Celsius, and then the combined test at the end, CPU is 59 degrees Celsius, GPU hit 68 highest. CPU, okay, there's definitely some inaccuracy with these peaks, man. 5 gigahertz the whole time, and then it says 7.1 gigahertz on my CPU. No, it doesn't even show that in hardware info. It says the highest I went on all my cores is 5.1 gigahertz. So no, that's completely wrong, bro. Ignore those numbers. The peak, yeah, and it said my GPU hit 2.6 gigahertz at stock. Yeah, shut up. Anyway, it was 1860 the whole way. It's 1845, 1890. Graphics test 2, 1920, dropped down to like 1890. And then 1905, it bounced in between those. And then for the combined test, it just held like 1860, 1875, 1890, and like 1845. So it bounced from like 1845 to 1890. And CPU obviously held the 5 gigahertz. I'm going to save this now. Fire Strike Ultra. And now I can load up Valhalla. Thank God. Alright. And now we're going to see what the performance is. Alright, we're back. Same thing. Monitor is an ROG PG259QN. 1080p, 360 Hz is native. Screen resolution scale is 200%, so it's 4K. 200% of 1080p, 4K. Graphics quality is the highest setting, ultra high, and then these are all the settings. So I'm going to run the benchmark now. And it is running. GPU is at 65 degrees Celsius. The fans aren't 100% RPM. They're just 60%. So they went from 1,000 RPM to 1,800. And now they're at 1,800, 1,900, 2,000 RPMs. And now I'm going to stop talking so you can watch the benchmark. Alright, cool. So that was the result. Same thing, 10900K, 3090, you know the monitor, Windows 10 Enterprise, driver, 460.89, and FPS was 62, so this is the worst out of all of the cards. The lowest 0.1% low and the 1%. So yeah, I can overclock this now and probably see what it can do. So I will do that. So I'm gonna go to Precision X and I'm gonna do max out the power target to 119. I'm gonna not touch the voltage because it doesn't work on this card apparently. I'm gonna do plus 250 for the memory because that should be stable. And I'll do, I don't know man, plus 50 for the core. I mean that should be stable. I'm not really sure how much scaling you're gonna see in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but I mean if I loaded up Time Spy, you know, you could see a difference. In Port Royale I could keep pushing and you see a difference, but the real way to test the stable overclock is if I load up Cyberpunk. Yeah, that thing crushes so fast. You know what? I'm gonna give it plus 80. If it crashes, it crashes. Honestly, I just wanna, you know, hurry up process. Let's see how it does. Fan curve is on auto still. Same settings. Memory's plus 250. GPU core plus 80. Power target maxed out 119%. Fans are on auto. Let's go. So I went up 3 FPS. My 0.1% low went from 39 to 40, and the 1% I'm pretty sure was 44. It's 46 now, so that's something, you know. I held like 1980 the whole way. My GPU is 71 degrees Celsius right now, and the fans are 70%. The Kingpin at stock was doing 2 gigahertz and held it, so yeah. I'm gonna do that test again. I'm gonna see if I can push this, like, dude, I'm just gonna do like plus 120 on the clock, and I'm just gonna run Port Royale. Or I could just keep running Valhalla. I don't even know what happens if you crash a benchmark. You know what? Screw it. We're going to do plus 120 on the clock, and we're going to do plus 400 on the memory. I know that this GPU obviously can handle plus 400 on the memory overclock. It'd be so stupid if it couldn't. I'm going to turn the ICX sensors on. So it's plus 120 on the core, plus 400 on the memory, and 119 power target. Everything's the same. I'm just, you know, memory went from 250 to 400. Clock went from 80 to 120. The GPU die itself is like 6970C, but if you look at power, if you look at MEM, the MEM 1, MEM 2, MEM 3 are all like 51, 53C. It's good. It's just the GPU die taught at 74. Everything else is like 50C. It's actually good. GPU 2 61C. MEM is still like 55, 58, 54. GPU die is like 69. Now it's holding 2025, right? In hardware info, it's not showing me how much power the GPU is consuming. And in Precision X, it's not showing me the total power that's being consumed. It's just showing me like a target. It's not telling me like, you know, how much power, you know, is being used and all that. So it's kind of weird. Let's see if the numbers went up. It didn't crash at all, so that's good. 65 still. Yeah, numbers didn't change at all. Alright, we're gonna go back. We're gonna try plus 140, and we're gonna do memory plus 500. That should... I really want to hit it with like a big number, but yeah. I should definitely be doing like Port Royale, not stupid Assassin's Creed benchmark, but I am a little curious to see. Honestly, let's screw it. Plus 1000 on the memory. And we're gonna do plus 140 on the core. Let's see what happens. If I had to point out one thing though, the coil line definitely increases once you start overclocking the memory in the GPU. Maybe it's just because the power target increased as well. It was quieter before. Yeah, memory temperatures are still like 60, 57, 55 C, you know, Mem 1, Mem 2, Mem 3, I just named them in order. GPU 2, 62, GPU 1, like the actual GPU die is 71 C, so fan RPMs are probably like 70% again, probably the same thing. GPU is holding 2055, 2040. Voltage is 1050 millivolts, 1075, 1050, 1075. I mean, the card's doing a good job compared to the Founders Edition. It can definitely overclock the memory further so that, you know, something has a higher power limit so it can, you know, hold 2 gigahertz in stressful situations. So, I mean, that's something, right? Yeah, pretty much like held 70C. So, the numbers are not changing. If anything, it's the same thing. I am curious to see if they can do 1250 like the Kingpin. So I am going to make the memory 1250. I know the memory is ECC. It's not like the other memory that crashes if it goes too high. I'm going to do plus 150 on the core and do the same thing. Benchmark. Yeah, I did the same thing everybody did. Make fun of people who play at 1080p. But if you really run a game at 4K on a 1080p screen, it looks really nice, man. It still looks really nice. Games at like native 4K, like on this monitor, or even on my 1440p monitor, like it just looks so good to play games rendered at 4K. If they made a 32-inch OLED 4K 240Hz monitor, bro, crack. Wow. The FPS went up to 67. The 1% went up 2 FPS as well. Wow. I was talking a lot of shit about this GPU. It's doing a good job, man. Wow. It's not bad. I'm actually pretty impressed now. Now I feel bad I canceled the order on the other one. Maybe that had better binning than this one, dude. What the hell? I'm gonna leave it at plus 1250 for the memory and then just plus 160 for the core. I don't know, maybe I made a huge mistake just cranking the voltage up to max. Maybe that introduced instability. Because now when I'm doing all these, I'm not touching the voltage at all and I'm just running them as high as they can with the power target and then just clocking it higher. Wow. Alright, now GPU is like 76C. Alright, we're finally getting hot. But if you look at the power and you're looking at the memory is still, oh finally, the memory's getting hot now. 63 degrees Celsius. Yeah, it's just holding 2055, not dropping at all. Alright, nothing really changed there, just holding a higher clock rate. And I'm gonna try plus 170. I mean, I don't know, man. You figure it crashed by this point. We're pushing this pretty hard. It's on air still. I mean, these are higher numbers than that Strix hit, man. I'm just gonna load up Cyberpunk at 4K after this because there's probably no way it can hold it. I mean, it's working in Valhalla, but I don't know if it holds this in Cyberpunk. If it does, I'm really impressed by this card on air, man. Dude, it actually went up 1 FPS from 65 to 66. Even the 0.1% low went to 41 and the 1% low went to 47. Dude, it just keeps scaling up. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna close this game because that's getting ridiculous. I'm gonna load up Cyberpunk on the 4K, the OLED. And I'm gonna move over this to this monitor and it's gonna launch on the TV. 1 second, let me get a controller. And I'm gonna put the camera on the wide angle lens so you can see it. 2 seconds. Also, my bad, I forgot the lights change. I have it set up for when I go to sleep. It auto, flux. But, yeah. Controller is over here. That is the game. It's running plus 1250, plus 170 on the core, and I guess the 500 watt BIOS, and it's dissipating. The GPU is at 75C, but that's just, the GPU die. Anyway, I'll load up the game, and I want to put the audio on, but you won't be able to hear the card, so that's fine. I just want to see if it crashes. I'm just shocked that it's running. Insta crash. Yeah, that's what I was expecting, dude. Crazy. I'll do plus 120 on the core and then relaunch it and try the same thing. I was about to say, there's no way this wrong. And I'm gonna leave the memory as plus 1250, just like the Kingpin. One second. You can't see the Precision X? Okay. I really hope that 32-inch OLED is real at CES for Samsung. That is going to be a great monitor. If I could just have that right over here, that'd be great. And then put it all on arms and move whatever I want out of the way. I would just put the 1080p in portrait and then have this space over here. If I get a 72-inch desk, yeah, that'd be great. My controller disconnected? Excuse me? Dude, it's connected. Okay, that's some weird glitch, whatever. Let's see if it crashes. Oh, okay. Plus 1250 on the memory. GPU is plus 500. Plus 120. Yeah, this works perfectly fine. This is the 500 watt BIOS. Yeah, the game's really smooth. It plays great. Yeah, it's running great. The settings are the same for that you saw from the Kingpin video. Gotta go to this chick's bar. Gotta meet with Judy. She's the hacker chick. I gotta use my Nomad pickup lines on her to, get the in, Yeah, it's running. We're gonna do plus 140. See if this crashes. Plus 170 crashed, but plus 140. Looking like it's still working. You get out of the car B. Alright, look, it sucks to you guys. I wanna hear the audio. What? I don't want to hear the fan noise. It's on it has the monitor selected. The monitor doesn't have speakers. That monitor doesn't have speakers. Obviously, I'm not using headphones. Where's my TV? Judy around.
Yep, take stairs down. Oh, what a sweet little face you have.
Yeah, that's great. Ray tracing is on medium right now. How do I get down? What is this? Core diary? Why the hell would I want that? Oh, you can grab stuff. Oh, this is how you get down. Who's this?
So concerned about strays, go take care of your guest. Sus, we're not done here. Oh yeah, we fucking are.
Okay. The Suzy Kucha. This looks like an IKEA Marcus. See, I got a Nomad voice line, boys.
It's not that difficult. Both seem to yammer a lot about community, solidarity.
I'll turn off
Dilemma.
the lights.
What comes first? Family or the outside
This is a
world?
club. Nobody cares about your lofty worldviews.
What was that all about?
Everyone in this city lives in their own goddamn world. And either you fly high or sink into quicksand.
You see this chick's monitors? She's got portrait monitors all over the place. She's got the widest ultra-wide keyboard I've ever seen, dude.
Susie seems to know what she wants. She your boss?
You come all this way
It keeps saying controller disconnected, dude. The battery's on. Like, it's
just to
not
play
disconnecting.
who's who at the Mox.
Listen, if you've seen Evelyn, you need to talk to her. It's important.
Why? So you can make her your scapegoat for your train of a...
You need to find out who she was working.
That's it?
That's it. Judy, you don't need to worry. I won't lay a hand on her. Wouldn't make sense.
Fine. Alright. Evelyn's a doll. Used to work at Clouds. Seed case on my table's got the address. Take it, and once you find Evelyn, give it to her.
Meg's out. Luxurious.
See, you don't get quality like that on console, boys. Oh, well, that's how you access your cell phone? You just hold down. Oh, wow. I had no idea. I didn't play the tutorial. Yeah, that's what it looks like when you have an LG 48CX for a monitor. And then you got your Strix XG17 portrait on the side. Oh, what's this? What's this? Can I take this? Thanks for the brain dance. That's a crazy keyboard, man. Is there anything here I can do? Server room. Alright, I am out, Judy. Peace.
Wait.
What?
Just let me know how she's doing. Okay?
I'll give you a call, okay?
Thanks.
Why does it keep doing that? Like, I swear, it's not disconnecting.
Thank you, B.
Right, I mean,
My doll. Why am I not surprised?
You're an engram and a fading mind. Nothing should surprise you anymore. Why the hell not?
graphics are good, dude. Graphics are pretty good. Hold on, let me click Alt-R. Let's see if it works on this card. Oh yeah, the Alt-R works on this card. I can actually see all the information. It just doesn't work on the Kingpin. I have no idea why. But yeah, I'm doing like 62 FPS, yep. 62, 63, 61, 62.
Forget Evelyn. Admit it. This is about you. Good shit, if I say so myself.
They call me Mr. Hands. If you're looking for Pacifica jobs, call me.
Name's V. What? No police leeches?
I'm truly honored to meet you. You got any biz, call me.
Hey, look.
Why is he just chilling here?
Would you look at that?
We've gone completely whacked when I'm having a mystical moment.
What's that chick's name? The one with the hair?
Misty? Yeah, more likely a neuron misfire for Victor to check out. Or maybe I ask them both.
Is he just gonna like chill there? Okay. This time the controller actually did disconnect. I don't know why it's doing that. That's super weird. It didn't do that earlier today. Crazy. I don't know, it's super weird. Now let's take this car. But it's holding the plus 140. But if you look at the clock rate, it's like 1935, 1950, 90. It's like, it's not holding like a lock 2 gigahertz or anything. We'll do plus 150 right now and see if it crashes. I'm giving it like such a high like overclock, but it's, you know, it's not even holding 2 gigahertz. It's like 1950 and bouncing. I have no idea. It's like 1965 now, 1980, 1995, 1965. Where is the location I have to go to? 900 meters that way. Okay. But yeah, it's like 61 FPS right now, 61. I mean, I'm playing it with G-Sync on the OLED, bro. Like, doesn't really matter that it's like 52 FPS or 61. Feels great, dude. I mean, this is the only way to play the game. Fortunately, you really do need like a 3090 and a 10900K or whatever. CPU utilization, 60%, 68%. Wow, holy crap, this thing really actually needs a CPU. It's a 10900K. GPU utilization, 98%. But yeah, where was I supposed to go? I wasn't even paying attention. Okay, over there. Yeah. But it still hasn't crashed. But it's such a high boost, it's only holding 1965. I have no idea. Oh, okay, the memory's finally 65C. You know, it's at least doing something. Oh, I got a call. I want to hear this.
A long time. When you find a moment, come see me. We must settle our accounts for Sandra Dorset. You did quite well. You and that friend of yours. Until then.
But you can't run over, like, poles.
I see the only thing waiting for you here is getting off or getting off. Place your bets.
Sure, bro. I think I'm supposed to go to clouds.
If I miss this time, enlighten me.
Braindance chip is hiding something. No coincidence we already saw 2 tiger claws. They must control the building.
Arasaka and the tiger claws are in bed together. Go figure.
Every corp plays dirty. Except the streets are more than that. They're filth. So the corps leave it to the gang. Since college, it's surprised.
No, I mean, if everyone wanted to disappear, especially from Arasaka, she could have done better.
This whole situation's mental. She spread wide.
Someone's in a great mood.
Not every day a half-breed dead dude drags me around a cat house in a wild road chase. So having a grand old time.
I think Judy's lying. Why?
Little something called intuition, V. Never heard of it?
Oh, so what you meant to say was you're full of shit. Got it.
Yeah, he's a little upset, dude. It's a weird hologram.
Welcome to Clouds, where we know what you're looking for. Would you care to jack into the terminal?
You realize personal links aren't secure, right? Could get hit with malware straight to my core. End up paying an arm and a leg for a ripper doc.
We need data from your core to pair you up with a doll.
You mean the biometric scan?
Just that. If anything goes wrong, you can lodge a complaint. But that's never happened.
Looking for Evelyn Parker. Does she work here?
Give me a moment. Evelyn's not available at this time.
Need to see her. It's important.
The algorithm knows best. Trust me, it will choose a doll that will thrill you. Our dolls can change their hair and eye color in real time to look just as you wish.
I'm not really sure what that means.
I just want to talk to her, that's all.
Please, no need for concern. Your doll will talk to you about anything you wish. Jack in, please.
I'm sorry. Did she finally say anything useful? Fuck the menu. Let's ditch this waitress and take our special order to the chef. Point blank. Meaning you go in as a customer, keep a low profile. They want to keep their cards close, fine. We'll play our own game.
So how's this all work?
An algorithm pilots the doll's motor functions. It takes your profile data and transforms into experiences in real time. Memory dampers on the doll's behavioral chip block any recall of the session.
So there'll be no trace of the meeting.
say yes, but that would strip it of mystery and suspense, wouldn't it? Once you're in there, you set the stakes.
No, I don't
Saying
really.
it's not dangerous, but there's some risk involved.
That is one way to put it. One thing is for sure. You never get what you expect.
Consider my interest piqued. How can you possibly know what I'm looking for?
Clouds always knows. Your deepest desire, we find it. You'll have your needs fulfilled. And maybe
Alright, let's do this.
this will be a live session. So
I'm gonna
let's
do
make it
plus
an unexpected
160,
turn.
and we're gonna see if this
Feel
crashes.
uncomfortable.
Everything's in frame rate.
Now for your safety
Afterlife or Samurai? Yeah, give me Samurai.
and safe. Now bear with me a moment. Scanning your personal profile. You should see compatible dolls in just a second.
So what is this?
Interesting.
Is that normal or...
Who can say what is normal? You're clearly a unique person with unique tastes. Ours don't get a leg, so who will it be, Joe or Scott?
Angel's the dude, Sky's the girl. If I mess this up, I'm turning the game off.
rather go with Sky?
I couldn't have chosen better myself. Now for the and you'll let in.
Okay. Jack out, I don't want to pay.
Where you go?
The payments come through. The entire floor is open to you if you wish to wind down first. Sky awaits you in booth 9.
Okay.
Disconnect, please.
That it?
We have a strict no weapons policy here at Clouds. Please deposit any and all hazardous items with me.
Okay.
Only two willing to spread their legs.
We hope you enjoy your stay.
Go eat a dick, Johnny.
Oh. Well, I definitely should not be showing this on YouTube. Alright, so, it hasn't crashed yet. I'll update it if it does crash. Alright, we're back. This is going to be the overclock settings, and I'm going to do a run of Time Spy. Actually, no, we're going to do Port Royale. Let's see if this crashes. Hopefully that's visible on the camera. I have no idea if it is, but it is what it is. Plus 170 on the core, plus 1250 on the memory. Max power target. Voltage is untouched to 0. Fans are on auto. I have the ICX sensors up. GPU is at 32 degrees Celsius right now. And let's go. Yeah, so if you look at the GPU power, you can see it's doing that crap where I have it set to 119%, but it's only pulling like 102 watts, like 102% of the power target. It won't pull like a 119 like it's supposed to. This is the whole reason why we were talking shit about the card being dog shit. The GPU power draw is only like 396. Dude, my Founders Edition can pull like 420 watts. I don't know what's the issue with this shit can't pull the power it's supposed to. I don't know. There's a few people that have the issue online, some others don't have the issue. I really don't care, man. I shouldn't have to... Look, man, if this card didn't have that power draw pulling bullshit, then it'd be a good card. It'd be a great card, actually, but it does, so. Look, the Kingpin doesn't have those issues, so. Pay $200 more, grab the Kingpin. I bought this from Amazon, Newegg, one of those places, whatever. And if you want to get this card from EVGA, you could use the associate code discount. And if you buy it from EVGA as well, the Kingpin, then you can use the associate code discount. And you get, I believe, 5% off. And the Kingpin is $2,000, so you get $100 off. Oh, my bad. Didn't mean to turn the lights off. Oh, I'm getting tired now. But as you can see, the score is 13,089. Crap scores. Look, if you get it for the Win 3 Ultra 90, it doesn't have that power bullshit issue. then it's a good card. I have the issue. I know somebody else who had the revised PCB from the Ultra 3090 Hybrid, and that shit, after, I don't know, maybe like a week of usage, it just like popped and it died playing Witcher 3, and he had to go back to his EVGA GTX 1080. So it is what it is, right? So now he's waiting for an EVGA 3080 Ti Hybrid. So hopefully that releases eventually. But yeah, this is pretty much done. Like, we're gonna wrap this up. I really hope you enjoyed the For the Win 3 Ultra on my XTIA ITX little open frame, you know, showcase case. So yeah, that's pretty much it. All right. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, whatever, just comment, post it down below. And yeah, peace.